are going to be doing a very cool painting. We made these last season with clay. So this is what we're going to be working on today. And these are handmade bowls that are made out of the paper clay that we did. You're going to be using a whole bunch of different colors, basically whoops paint. You can find these at any hardware stores and containers. These are the colors that we are going to be working with. So today we're going to start with a regular plastic bag. That's just going to be your setting here. You do want to keep everything clean. This is just an everyday trash bag. You find them at Walmart, dollar store, anything like that, but it's always good to have. You're also going to want these little racks here. You can also get these at the dollar store. What we're going to try to do today is make something like this with these really pretty. Now this is the homemade clay as well, made up last season, and I just same technique as these bowls today, just with a little bit more rounder. So popsicle sticks, love them, get them whenever you guys can. These are great to have. You're going to be using those for many things. These are little shot glasses you can also find at the dollar store, I believe in like the wedding section. These are 1 ounces, so these are really great to have if you're going to be doing a lot of painting, because these are, we'll do one of these will finish a whole bowl by itself. These are little cups you can also get at the dollar store. You can also use 2-ounce yogurt cups, snack pack cups, things like that, and you can reuse them. That's why they look so lovely. I mean, look at that, all these beautiful colors. Handy wipes, your friend, pick them up, dollar store. These are great for anything. I'm going to be definitely using them today. I reuse these as well, and I make book covers out of them. You guys get to see that in a second. If you guys do not have a plastic bag, it happens, trust me. You can use wax paper. You want to make sure it's wax paper or freezer paper. The other ones really don't work if you want to pull up the paints that have been left on your dough drop. This is completely optional. You do not have to use one of these, but this is just a heat gun. You can also use a blow dryer, torch, anything like that. Probably not a lighter. Stay away from those. These will do me no good because my hands are so small, but everyday gloves. You can use dishwashing gloves, anything like that. Just anything to protect your hands, because just opening up these paints, my hands are just covered. These are also optional, but this is just an everyday paintbrush and tweezers. These are special tweezers, but you can use anything. That's just in case something drops in there and you want to pull it out. It doesn't ruin the painting too much. We will also be working with the methicone or any type of silicone would work great with it. And this is to make the cells where it kind of breaks up and looks like kind of like a webbing. That's what this is for. You can also use 90% alcohol to use with that. We also have the gesso. That is the white that I'm using. I'm just reusing my container here. This is just a ranch bottle. And this is gesso because I get them in the big containers, so this is just easier to pour. Same thing with this little fella here. This is flood fluorol. I can't say that word right now, sorry guys. Flustered. This is 100%, so I have not diluted this with water, have not done anything with this. This is 100% out of the bottle, just in everyday water. Distilled water you can get already in big bottles, or you can, what I do is I just boil my water before putting it in here, basically. Like I said, all of these are basically just oops paints you can get at the hardware store. My Lowe's has it for about $9, and that's for a pretty good size can. And that's how I've gotten a whole bunch of these different colors. This is more a pink, not a white. We also have a gray. We have some actual paintings here. These are the apple barrel. Got these at Walmart for I think like 50 cents. So that's great. This one's a lot thinner, so I'm really worried about how this one's going to react. But it just means we're going to have more water. So I have 3 sets. Each bowl has 2 that go together. Just because I said they do. And what we're going to be doing is this paint scale here. You guys can see that. So these 3 here is going to be 1 set. This one, this one, this one is going to be this set. And This set is probably going to be all of these together in one bowl. Now I can also, you can't see it because it's the same color as these. This, like I said, is just the gesso over them, over the paper clay that made the bowls. So yeah, see, look how big these are compared to my fingers. So first off, we're going to go ahead and grab our 2-ounce cups here. We're going to start making our paints. I just thought we'd do this all together so that you guys can see how the paints are done and how easy and wonderful this is. I mean, you can get all this stuff really, really cheap, and it looks pretty cool afterwards. Give them as gifts, Mother's Day gift, everything like that. We're going to start with our blues first. And yeah, I mean, that's not a bad price for that little guy. This is a sample paint. See that? We're just going to start with 3. Pull them out. These are reusable as well. Once the paint dries, same with this, just reuse it. Doesn't go back into the paint. Now it's wonderful because the sample paints and the big guys are 100% acrylic paint. So that means it's real paint, guys. It's like 100%, even better than these. That's why I like them so much. These are just everyday measuring spoons. You can get these also at the dollar store in their cooking section. Do remember, anything that you use for crafting, don't use in your kitchen. So we're going to be using the 1 tablespoon and the 1 teaspoon. So we're going to do 2 teaspoons of the Flood. Oh, that's the medium. You can also use Elmer's glue or any type of glue that is acid free. Or plain water if you don't have it. Like I said, this is the 100% Flood. You do want to shake everything really nicely before, especially the Flood all. You want to make sure there's no goops or things, because this does bunch up very easily inside the bottles. And this is where the handy wipes come in wonderfully. Just use the handy wipe out. And that's it. We're going to start with the dark blue first. This is a cobalt hue. This is by Apple Barrel. It has a big old glob. And then I make sure, oh, see how that has that little drop? That's what we want to try to catch anything like that you can, because that does not stir up. Y'all are probably thinking, that's a lot of paint. Yes. Yeah. You can also use the popsicle stick. So that's 2 for 2. Come in, wipe it down, and start with the next. This one, like I said, is a lot waterier. I'm not sure what I can do. I was thinking about maybe adding some Elmer's all glue in with it. This one might be a little bit fun to play with. This one has a lot of bubbles in it as well because it's so watery. We'll leave this one closed just in because I do think I'm going to have to add a little bit more in there just for the color. This one is just an oops paint. You guys can see that all right? This one I'm just going to dip in and pull out. Sorry, I didn't actually look at this very well. I really like this blue-gray here. Really charming blue. Unless you get a really, I'll show you guys these in a bit. I did make books out of them last season, and I should have that up somewhere. So we have our blues. We're going to actually just go ahead and make up the whites. Like I said, we're just going to use a gesso. You're going to see me use this bottle here. Like with white, you can make as much as this as you want. This is just going to be our kind of our base, the whole thing. And that is the first steps, guys. Really easy. Now what we're going to do is you want to kind of get a honey feel, kind of like let it flow off of your popsicle stick or your stirrer. You want to make sure all of this is mixed. So get the sides, kind of move it around different directions, because this will leave white streaks. Once you see the streaks kind of disappear on the next one. This is what we're looking at. See how it just like starts to pour off? That is what we're looking for. If you need to add some water, the water and the combined, and it also gives the sail effect without using the dimethicone. You guys can see this all right? This is that really pretty Caribbean. It's actually not as bad as I thought it would be. Now, if you notice, if you guys do this and it starts to kind of like fall off in chunks, that is where you want to add a little bit more water. Have the gray blue. That just flows off. That is perfect. Now, depending on the paints, you will have to kind of play with it and see what your consistencies are. It's not always going to be the same. I see how that's kind of, you can't see that. I wish you guys could really see that, but it's a really kind of marble look. So that's going to work well with these colors here, I think. So we've got our colors mixed. Then next up, this is, like I said, you can use this. You guys can skip this part, but this is dimethicone. You can find coconut serum that has the serum in it in the hair products. You can find treadmill oil that's also silicone. So you're looking for anything that says dimethicone or silicone. You just need like a few drops. You can also find it in sprays, but this one is just a few drops. I'm actually going to do it upside down because this is like very watery. It comes out super fast, hence why I'm doing it upside down. It's a little bit more than we need, but that's all right. A lot of people skip the white, but with this type of canvas, not canyon, I just want to make sure everything is connected. Now the fun part, guys. So these are 2 ounces. I'm not going to stir them yet. We're going to wait to stir them. So with each of these colors, for each bowl, you're going to need the 1 ounce container because that's how much would fill a. So we're going to start with the first. And this is where it actually becomes fun. This is where the magic starts to happen. Go ahead and put these up front so that you guys can see them as I pour. What I get? So we're just going to start with the white. Since the white's always going to be on the bottom because it's the heaviest consistency. You don't want to mix it too finely. That's from the silicone right there, so it just came right off. That is one of the reasons I've used this. And this is where you have fun. It doesn't matter that these colors are mixing since I have some. You don't have to do it exact. You don't have to do it complete. Just have fun. Yeah, that's kind of breaking up with it. You can pour onto the sides. This. Or pour into the middle. You can pour half and half. You can do anything you want. Fine, because it's never going to turn out the same. Even if I did these exactly the same, it will never look these. You can already see the kind of breaking up with that. Oh, that's going to be fun. Oh my goodness, I forgot to stir. Hey, things happen. That it has a lot in it. Oh my goodness. The more you stir it up, the smaller the cells will be. You really kind of want the really big cells at this. So if you make too much paint, oh, I could see that just on the top. Oh my goodness, maybe put some white on there will actually push that down. Next up, this is the fun part. That's why you guys came here. Is this spot right here. That's okay. This is where I'm scared. So we've got our paints. We've got a whole bunch of silicone. I'm not sure if you guys can already see that. It kind of looks like a really cool layer effect on the sides. What you're going to do is I'm going to actually do the insides as well. But you just go ahead and take your bowl, top. Now, since these are not completely flat, like most things, you will have some leakage on the sides, but that's perfectly fine. That's why we have the cover. Ready? Ooh, darling. And just this is why we have the cloth. See how that's kind of already taking its own shape? Paintbrush, or you can use the popsicle stick, either way. As you can see, I have so many white spots here. Trying to just help it down a little bit. Grab some of that up. Try to keep as much of the colors not muddy out, and just give it a little bubbles. Oh, if I had a spatula, that's what you also guys can get, is a little spatula. Forgive me for the reach. I'm just like tapping it there, just letting it kind of smooth off by itself so it doesn't muddy. Mix some color in there. Feel free to pick this up if you want and move it around with your hands. I will be doing that in a split second. As soon as I'm done with this, I'm just doing the same thing that I did to the front, to the back. This will keep moving, so do remember that, guys. This will keep moving. So just because you have a really cool design, it could change on you. Or it can make a really cool design and you didn't have one before. If you want, you can always get some of the muddy parts. I think some gold would have really looked nice in here. What I'm trying to do is get a drip there. On the white. That is our first one. It's not too bad. I actually like it. So just very gently, kind of move it around. Make sure if you touch any sides that you kind of go in and unmuck them. And that's your first one. Look how beautiful that is with the whites and the greens. That green actually turned out really nice. So that was one. We're going to do exactly the same thing, maybe a little bit more slowly with the four, and kind of move it around a little bit. Try to get all of those sections. Of course, I mucked it up already, guys. I mucked it up already. This flow on this side. Over here. Try not to touch it too much. That side looks good. This is the side we're going to work on. I have tons of it on my gloves, so I'm just going to you tip it just like this. You want to pay attention to all of this. See how it has those kind of like, looks like bubbles almost? Those are little cells. And that is what we're going for. That's number two. And look at our hands, guys. Look at how gorgeous that looks. You flat this down, let it sit by itself. I hope you're enjoying this. I know it's a little bit different. Full effect. We're going to be using the heat gun. Now remember, this is going to be super hot. It will burn your paints. It will burn any type of plastic that is around. So you want to go really fast. I'm just going to be on the low setting. And this is just to make those cells pop up. It will also push the paints if it's a little too high. And that's just to bring the paint that's from the lower levels to the higher levels with that dimethicone that's in there. You get like little circles like this. These little like pops. And when I bring it up closer, you guys will definitely get to see the little shapes that are around here. I just don't want to touch it right now because it's wet paint. And the bottom here is really nice. Now the splats that you guys can also reuse and make jewelry out of. You can make these wonderful skins that can go on almost anything. Okay, so next we're going to do our second set of paints, and that is going to be our red set. That's going to be the gray, the red, and the purple. And we're going to do exactly the same thing. Next, we're going to start with the red. Once again, we're going to be using bounce cups. And, oh, that's going to be way more than 2. Won't fill that up all the way. Go ahead and get your handy dandy wipe. Okay, next, we're going to do our purple. And again, this is the same purple as I used before. If you guys want to reuse this, it's always great to put them out. Section it doesn't have. Next, we're just going to grab the white gesso as well. I just want to go a little bit out of range here. The white is a lot thicker, so I'm just going to go ahead and let that freely pour. And we have a gray recycled bottle. It works so much better than trying to scoop it out. Now these will get a good washing after I'm done. Now we're going to get our medium. Like I said, you guys can use Elmer's glue, you can use floral, use water, use any of these glues that are acid free. We're going to use two of these big guys. These are 2-ounce containers that I'm pouring them into. These are also the same size as those apple containers, fruit containers. And the popsicle sticks. We're going to do our pink. This way I did the medium on top to kind of show you guys how that mixes. So that's smooth. It doesn't fall down in clumps. You don't want clumps. If you have clumps, you just add a little bit of distilled water, boiled water. That's the gray. Look at how that turns that beautiful marble. very smooth. And it just pours right off. That's what you're looking for, is that consistency. Not too thin, not too thick, but not clumpy. Okay, and now we've gotten our 4 paints done for our next step. Bring our canvases over. Grab our 2 1-ounce shot glasses here. These are at the dollar store. Pack of them. I believe they're usually in like the wedding sections. This is a one. These are 2 ounces. And this is where you have fun, guys. Put the painting where you want. Doesn't have to be exact. Doesn't have to be. Oh, I forgot the dimethicone. Sorry, guys. See, I'm all getting ahead of myself. You just want dimethicone. You can also use 90% rubbing alcohol, anything with silicone, treadmill oil, stuff like that. Or you can skip this altogether. Usually people don't put it in the white, so that I'm doing this upside down because it is very messy. Kind of have a little bit better control over this. And I know it sounds funny when you're like thinking about it, but you do. You have so much more control over it. Go ahead and grab the white one. It doesn't tip over. Remember, the more you stir with this, the more you stir, the smaller the cells will be. And yes, now we're back to painting. These are perfect for this size. I do have a chart up on my Facebook account if you guys want to see how much paint per canvas. That's a really good nifty thing. Try not to knock over your paints. That's not a. So we've gotten all 4 colors so far. Let's do a little bit more white. Then on the top, push them down a little bit. I really like this red. Now do remember also, anything that you put on the first layer will come out on last. We've got our paints. We got our 2 1-ounce bottles. We still have a lot of paint. We're definitely going to be able to do that last. This is the fun part. This is what we came here for. So we have our glasses. We got full. Like I said, this is just for my homemade set that I made last season. You're going to pick up your over top. Because it is not a real bowl, it is going to have little edges and things like that, so it's going to fly out on the sides like it already is. 1, 2, 3, flip. I'm going to ahead and let that be for a second. Try to get all of the stuff. Kind of kissing it right now to get that extra little stuff that's in there, go onto the sides and not make it muddy. Try not to touch your other paintings. This way it still gets that kind of smooth consistency, and I think this is a really beautiful mixture of the red and the white. Like I said, I'm just kissing the paint. This will keep moving on you. Okay, tip this upside down. I wish you guys could see this around it. It is really pretty. That mix in. Just a little bit to see flow. Try not to muddy up your section. You do want to move it so gently. And that is our first one. Actually looks really pretty with this green here and the whites. Lots of pink kind of coming in there. It's okay if you guys get fingerprints like that because it will. I'm too scared to touch those other ones. Scared. Once again, that's what we do. Once again, cut, drop. See the big old one on this side? Darn. This one had a lot of dimethicone in it, so there's like a bald spot on this side. This is not going to be as pretty as the other sides, but that's okay. I know these don't seem like much, but I tell you, I promise you guys, these are very beautiful. Once you are done, very satisfying. Put all into action, come up with something really pretty. Going over the edges, kind of just tapping it. This one has a lot of white in it. You're going to want to pay attention to what is a white mark, what are bubbles. I'm going to get these done. Like I said, with this, you want to go really fast over the item. You don't want to keep it in one area too long because it will burn your paints. I also got the stuff that piled onto the table around here. That's kind of look really nice as well. If I had another canvas done, I would do a dip painting, and those look really cool. I mean, those have some really nice textures to them. It has some really cool designs. You might have to try that with some of our leftover paint. So that was the gray, the red, the burgundy, and the white. And that's how we got this guy here. Those are really pretty. Okay, guys, so that is 2. Wahahaha. Oh, this is so nice. See how it comes right to the edge, though? That is super scary. That is why you always have a drop cloth, because you never know what you're going to do. And last but not least, we're going to use our leftover paint and do all of these. So we've got our gray, got our white, got a red, we've got a kind of a burgundy. I'm going to settle with burgundy. Got a blue, dark blue. Got a lovely kind of teal. A very beautiful gray. Try not to touch your other paintings. And we have some more white. So that is wonderful. We're going to have a lot more paint. We're going to go ahead and just reuse what we had before. These are just 1 ounce little shot glasses. Remember, these do have the dimethicone in them already, so we don't have to add that. It's all been stirred. They are all ready to go. So grab the white. It has a lot more white in it than I expected, but that is perfectly fine. I hope you guys can see this all right. I've got left a lot in there, but we can always use that for something else. Having that extra white in there in the beginning really made a difference. How much was pouring in there. Like I said, this is the fun part. This is where you can experiment. You can put them anywhere you want. You can crisscross them. You can make diamonds. Let's go a little bit more beautiful teal color. Only a little bit left of that one. There's a lot of that one and a lot of that one, so we'll just go ahead and how much blue I can get of this. Look at this, guys. That is all we filled up. Other than the 2 white ones right there, that is all the paint you. I'm gonna take the edge, push down, wipe, push down. If you do something like that, it's not a deal. Sorry, totally off camera there, guys. I'm sorry. Oh, but I was totally off. I just like looked up and there. That is how the top looks. And try as flat as you can get. When you do tip this over, try to get all of the sides. Always scares me, guys. This part always scares me. I don't know why. Nope. Oh, nope. It's not going to get everything again. Darn. Really tried on this one. What's going on? Yeah, we needed that to flow. We need that to flow. Look at all of that. Most of it actually got onto the look at that. Oh, that is beautiful. You guys can see that all right. That is what the dimethicone does. Those cells in there, that is what it's all about. Too bad I didn't get it on the on the bowl, but hey, that is what happens. You're not mixing the colors, you're just up and scooping. Yeah, it kind of keeps that marble going on. That one's really pretty. The blues and the whites really do stick out on this one, with the reds popping in. Can't wait to actually pick these up and be able to show you guys. And our last but not least, this color here. You can see it's pretty nice. Oop, I'm already starting to pour it because that is what I do. Not stable. We all knew that one, right? We are not stable. Once again, up, under. With a flat surface, you're going to get so much better coverage. You're going to get so much better everything. 2, 3, flip. And of course, all of it goes onto the ground again. I think I learned my lesson on these. This is my last pair. I'm just going to here and kind of coax this out just a little bit. Isn't it? That's okay. We're going to do some cleanup here. And we're going to look for a spot that's not going to be too damaged. If you want to keep one on here, you're just scooping at this point the paint up with the paintbrush and letting it kiss and drop. If you do tap, just remember that the tapping will create a mud look. And that's just where all of the colors kind of combines and just have kind of a really weird consistency. It's also really great if you have sections that have too much of the same color that's going around. You can also just pick up and drop into some other areas. This one has some really nice blues and red stripes coming onto the side here. Remember, this is going to keep moving. So if you like what you see now, does not mean it's going to be that way when you come back. Grabbing from one side and bringing it into another. Peter for Paul, guys. Peter for Paul. And we have it. That is it, guys. And look how much paint we actually have left over. So if I wanted to do just a plain canvas, I really could with some of these extra paints. But I really can't wait to start taking pictures and show you guys what these look like. What? I know it just looks like a big old mess. It's a big old mess, but it's just such a fun mess. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Do you guys have any questions? So you can see that still looks really pretty. And that one, got this one here. I might need to come in with a little bit of blue on the top. That's where the dimethicone came in. And I'm getting the dimethicone in there and mixing it up a little bit because it's making a little pocket. We don't want real pockets. We want to be able to see the color in it, but not a pocket that shows the white of the canvas. And there we have it. I'm gonna go ahead and grab the heat gun. This is just a heat gun that I got off of Amazon. And that is it, guys. So we have 6 bowls completely done. You do want to wait up to 2 weeks before you do any type of sealant. That you can use any type of varnish, or resin, or triple clay, triple something or other. And we will definitely be coming back for that one. We will also be doing the inside of the bowls once these completely dry. But like I said, it's going to be at least a week before it dries. So set it aside somewhere even, because these, like I said, these are not done moving yet. Even though they look completely and utterly stable, they're still going to start moving and creating and bubbling. Look at that. Look at that tie-dye loving. Okay, guys, I hope you had a good one. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Do you guys have any questions or anything like that? Let me know. You guys have a great one.